Welcome to the Regular Joe's Podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm apparently not close enough to the microphone.
Now you're too close.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
Todd, we don't need everyone to hear the behind-the-scenes things.
Every time they give me shit about where I sit in relation to the microphone and the inconsistency thereof. So I am not going to move from this position.
The only
tonight.
reason I bring it up because your wave starts out big and gets very small.
Well, if we changed up our...
That's personal information that you're giving away.
But if we change up our roles...
I am not comfortable with that disclosure.
If Todd becomes the editor, I could become the writer of the descriptions and Dave can take over uploading, then Todd would probably be more consistent with where his microphone was. Because it would create extra work for him.
One of the two episodes that I edited, I did say never. So I guess I do. I would probably be more self-conscious.
Well, there's no editing that stuff out because it's too...
I did.
I'm
did.
not doing it.
Dave and I don't edit those out.
No, there's no way.
I did.
Yeah. It'd be...
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Yes. It feels like we haven't done this in a while because we did the last one a while back. But anyway.
It was a group effort, the last one.
Yeah, it was a group effort. Even though it was very angry Daryl.
Well... We did it in advance because, just because we share everything with the world. We did it in advance because I was going on vacation and we wanted to get the show in, and then I didn't go on vacation. So, fucking COVID.
So
anyway.
We just texted for a week.
Yeah, pretty much. We've just been texting.
I think one afternoon for a 3-hour period, we did an entire show via text.
If you were doing something, you'd come back to 16 text messages. But
yes,
that's fine. As we record this, it's Martin Luther King Day, so, be nicer to everybody. That's all I say. I mean, I know he was about a million things, but if we were all just
and if you're,
not an asshole...
say, United States Senator, vote for fucking voting rights tomorrow, okay?
Jesus Christ. There's don't even get me started on that. And most of those... Never mind. I'm not even going to get started. Here's what we're talking about
because if
today.
you start, then I'm going to start talking about a certain family member of mine who is making me crazy with the things they're saying.
No, I'm talking about...
Yeah, let's not go down that road.
Politicians. Anyway, they all suck. Okay, we're going to talk about Book of Boba Fett. We're 3 episodes in. Did we ever talk about the first episode? I don't know. No, we didn't.
We even sat in a room and watched it together. Well, yeah, I mean, if you count the last episode where Daryl just said he hated it, but...
Oh. You can't go over that. Anyway,
but
so
we chose not to defend or, we chose not to engage at that point because we knew we were going to talk about it more.
You don't. There's just certain things that you don't go down that road at that point because it would open up a whole...
Yeah, Daryl was that guy on the subway that night. So you just don't... we don't get into it.
We do love Daryl.
We love you, Daryl.
I don't know if we love Daryl and... What was that thing called? Daryl and Scorpions...
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. It's all fun. It's all good stuff. Yes, that was a 2+ hour show, so thank you for all who listened. That was a long time. But
yeah,
so
people got their money's worth on that one.
They did get their money. We'll do Book of Boba Fett. There will be spoilers, but let's go some random. Barry, did you not have anything?
I don't have any, no.
Oh. Todd, do you have something?
Okay. About every 15 seconds, I hit the refresh button, waiting to see when the trailer for Moon Knight is going to appear.
You have to watch the oblong pigskin ball game.
I'm not doing it. It is interesting looking at the Twitter feed of people who are watching sports, in some cases for the first time ever, so they can see this trailer.
I have watched sports for something
as of this moment,
like that.
it has not.
It doesn't seem like Moon Knight audience and sports audiences would intersect at any point on a Venn diagram.
Disney loves doing that. Monday Night Football on ESPN. They did it with Star Wars.
Well, they've been promoting the hell out of Boba Fett on any show airing in prime time on ABC. So,
well,
supposedly, they're timing it with like the full moon, and then the other thing was that I read was that the release date is going to be March 30th, and that leaked ahead.
Oh, is that? Do you think that's in the trailer? The release date?
I do not know. And I've only seen that. I've seen it on 2 different sites, but they're using the same source.
So that's the next show then.
We may know tonight,
or in reality, right?
I will say, I'm a little anxious about this. I am. So the stuff in the trailer teaser looks good. Looks interesting. I don't see how they can go wrong with this character because he's one of these people who people don't know a lot about.
Or any.
There's a number of versions of him so that you could go in a bunch of different directions and you could pick the one that suited you. And then you could even change it up because he doesn't even really know who he is. And
I don't know a single thing about it. Barry, do you?
They've got
I just know as a kid growing up, my friend's brother was a big fan. So I heard about it a lot, but I never read it.
Huh.
And there are a number of good videos out there saying, explaining who he is but again, very malleable. They can do pretty much anything with this character. They just need to do it right, and I'm really hoping that's what happens.
Well, we'll find out if Oscar Isaac is gonna, I mean, I don't think it's his fault. He's good, and it wasn't his fault that Apocalypse was so bad. I don't think.
Oh God, that's not his fault at all.
I don't blame that on him.
No, you can't put that on him.
Yeah.
Any more than the a Star Wars movie he was in. So, that's not his fault. But
it's just that he's been good in a lot of things. So
you can't blame Ben Affleck for Daredevil.
Yeah, I do. I actually do. He's an executive producer. Okay.
I'm reading the Marvel book and they were talking about it.
Yeah.
But that's so. I guess that's so. Boba Fett ends in mid-February.
Yeah.
Not that they all have to alternate between Star Wars and Marvel, but you would figure with all the stuff they should have something new on all the time in one of those universes.
I think they're staggering the new content,
which is smart.
But there's nothing else that's even been announced for a trailer or anything, right? I mean,
we know about a bunch of shows, but we don't know the release dates of any of them. So
interesting.
Right. This may be the next thing coming, and we'll see. Also, and again, COVID has screwed up shooting schedules for everything, so we'll see.
Yeah, Picard shut down for only 10 days, though, they said.
Yeah, but didn't they say 30 people on set tested positive?
50 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Here's something that, I've been reading in bits and pieces that we either talked about it and I don't remember, which is very possible, or we never talked about it. There's talk of a Firefly reboot at Disney Plus. Have we talked about that?
No, certainly not on the show. Maybe you guys have texted about it, but I have not heard about that.
But there's I just saw something on YouTube
reboot,
about it.
So not the original cast.
They didn't really say.
What's Fillion doing? Come on.
He always has a series on ABC.
He is. I was saying to somebody the other day. He is he is this. I guess centuries. Robert.
I was going to say Robert Urich. I knew that's where you were going.
It's like every it's like he is idle for about 20 minutes, and then they say, "Oh, we've got another series."
And he just always get picked up to be on something.
Very short. It's short-lived series too.
Yep.
And he's the voice of the Lobster in Resident Alien.
How do you feel about Las Vegas? Because we're going to make you Dan Tan. Okay, now that's done. Let's look at Spencer for Hire.
But before Spencer for Hire, he was Gallivan for
Gallivan. I didn't know if you were going to remember that. I actually like that show.
Remember because
he was a diver, right?
It was some kind of treasure hunt. I never saw it, but
I think it was a diver. But
right now he's on a show called The Rookie.
Robert Urich has been dead for 10 years.
No, I'm talking about Fillion.
Oh, I know.
I'm talking about Fillion.
But Fillion even had a show where he drove a car for 12 episodes across country or something. That's his Gallivan. That was before The Rookie.
Well, and he apparently had 2 series running simultaneously because he was in something called Big Mouth from 2017 to 2021 and The Rookie from 2018 to 2022.
That's got to be an animated thing, I bet.
I think it's like a web thing.
Oh, maybe.
But he was on that.
Oh, right. It says he's a voice. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, he is the equivalent of that, and that's where, like I said, he's just charismatic enough, and he's that guy. And there's always they're going to have right now. There's 3 pilots sitting there on someone's desk for him next when this.
Meanwhile, he's had these Castle and this Rookie. I mean, he's still a rookie. It's been on for 5 seasons. I don't think he's a rookie anymore. Yeah. But I have never seen it. But anyway,
so.
I don't know about the Firefly thing. Joss Whedon supposedly not attached.
Okay, if we go back to Firefly, do you do a reboot or you do a sequel?
If you can get the same people back in, I'm all for it. I don't know if they can, though.
Well, everybody who's still alive.
Even if you just got those people for cameos, and this is just about handing the ship off to somebody else, I think you could make this work.
Yeah. What the hell is Summer Glau doing? She's not doing anything. Yeah. Maybe she's just...
Yeah, well, they killed Wash, right?
Wash and Book is dead.
Book is dead. The actor unfortunately is dead, yeah.
And who else died? Anybody else?
Yeah, but again, I think you could have... I think you could have somebody else take over the ship.
Series coming out, actually.
Yeah.
Something on NBC called some mystery thriller series she's got. Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I think there's a Disney issue with Joss Whedon. I guess he's had not good press recently.
Very not good.
Oh my God, he was. I mean, I guess he's got to defend himself at some point. But he was just talking about his experience on Justice League. Like, really, why at this point? Like, I get that there's been so much said about the original cut, and then he took over, and then they did the Snyder cut. But I've read something literally today where he was saying that the actors treated him poorly, and that they were the worst behaved cast ever. Like, what do you benefit at this point from continuing that dialogue?
Because
these people
are speaking out about him, and it's some point, if he's going to have anything of a career, he's going to have to defend himself. Again, these. I don't think you get to be I don't think the normal track for being a director is being a nice guy and being well loved. I don't think that's how you produce.
Jon Favreau.
Again, I think he's the exception to
Well, I don't think it was
I don't think
it was. I think now it's a different industry, and the industry literally changed almost overnight, and it's a different industry now, and unfortunately a lot of people got caught up in that change. And
right.
That's just...
I mean, in my limited experience of working with 20 directors, asshole directors don't last.
And yet he did. He did very, very well. So,
right, but
yeah.
So my son Joey
it finally caught up with him.
Yeah, it caught up to him. My son Joey looked you up on IMDb the other night, Dave.
There's another guy who's got some of my stuff on my IMDb.
Because we were talking about
I didn't
NYU
direct
Film
some
School.
French movie.
And I said to him, I said, well, we know somebody that went to NYU Film School. And once I said that, he immediately looked you up and started reading off your credits to me.
Yeah, I don't have it updated. But anyway, I'm trying to think. Who was... Oh, anyway, I won't go into that whole story. Anyway, so Firefly, Disney Plus. We'll see. Well, I guess, is it owned by Disney? I would imagine.
It was Fox, and Fox is owned by Disney Fox now.
So there you go. Yeah, interesting. Okay, we'll see. Any other random?
No, I didn't come to the table prepared with anything tonight.
Okay. Did you guys see the picture of the Hawkeye deleted scene in... It's nothing earth-shattering, but
I have not.
I thought I had... Oh, here it is. It's a picture from what they think is a deleted scene. I think I just put it in. Hang on. Yeah. It's them in a sporting goods store buying a ton of stuff to make all the trick arrows.
Right.
Yep. Which is cool. I would love to see that.
You wouldn't think there'd be a lot of deleted scenes from a series like that, but I guess there always ends up being something that gets cut.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. It's funny, they have those poster tubes. You don't get those at...
Yeah, those are poster tubes.
At sporting goods stores.
But you also... These aren't standard-sized episodes. I mean, they can go longer and shorter, so they probably at some point decided it didn't contribute enough to the story.
Or, it affected pacing, or there was some reason that they tweaked it.
Because this isn't like a network TV show where it's got to fit, it's got to be 45 minutes of room for commercials, or 48 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, we've certainly seen, even with Boba Fett that we're going to talk about, like, some episodes are 50-something minutes long and some are 30-something minutes long, so...
Yep, very much the case with the Disney Plus stuff, which is I think a a virtue.
You know what's
Yeah, me too.
virtuous?
Me too.
Fanboy Collectibles. I was waiting for someone to say something. Check it out. Exo-6Q figure.
I saw that
Up
today
for
when I looked at
pre-order.
the site. I had not even heard that was a thing.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
it looks amazing.
I think it is so cool that Exo-6 is doing the things that, just kind of doing obscure stuff, but also like things that no one else has done.
Well,
Yeah.
and at
You
the
know, it's
quality
like
level that
instead
they're
of
doing it at, which is
retreading their it would be if you would like do all the crews and all this shows, it just nobody has room for all that. I guess we do, but if you just took the like a representative thing from each thing, and that's if you were going to have 3 or 4 things from the next generation, he's probably one of them. It's kind of cool.
Well, also up for pre-order is the Hoshi and the Vulcan chick from Enterprise in the decontamination chamber. Remember that? In their underwear? No, don't order it. That's not a real thing. But
what they do have in stock, Iron Studios Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Yeah, I
Factory
saw that.
statue, which is
Yes.
kind of cool. I like
There's
that.
a Vision statue. There's a Hot Toys Kylo Ren in stock. They got everything. Fanboy has got everything you need. Check them out. They got Hot Toys and Pops and Kotobukias and all that stuff. Check them out online at fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out in Newtown, Connecticut. Tell them the regular Joe sent you. Okay. I couldn't remember what's-her-face's name. The Vulcan chick from Enterprise.
T'Pau.
T'Pau?
Not T'Pau.
You mean her real name?
T'Pol.
T'Pol.
T'Pol and Hoshi.
Oh, come on. I was so
the old,
close.
T'Pau was the
You
very
don't want
old
to see
lady
her in
in
her
Amok
underwear. In the
Time.
No, but I was
decontamination
close.
chamber.
Come on. It was very close with the Vulcan names there.
Interestingly, that was the original idea when they created that character. Was she was going to be the young version of that character,
Oh, yeah. I remember reading that.
and then they changed it.
Yeah, interesting. Okie dokie. Book of Boba Fett. There will be spoilers. Daryl and Jim Bush, feel free to yell into the comments if you need to.
So when we got together at your house in December, we watched the first episode together
Yes.
and didn't really comment too much
Didn't
to
say
each
much.
other. Yeah. So we're 3 episodes in now. I mean, I haven't really gotten a good sense from either of you whether you're enjoying it or on the fence about it. So
How do you
wanna go
I
about
am
this?
enjoying it. I am enjoying the first episode, and then the second episode that's just a retread of the first episode, and then the third episode that's a retread of the first and second episodes. It's like the
But
same.
with Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Yeah, it's like the same kind of thing. I was fine with the first 2, and then the third is like let's get. I'm not liking it, but it's we have a scene. Then you're in the back to tank. Then we go back in time, and then when Boba Fett, who died like a bitch and came back, is now living like a bitch. Is there anyone's ass you're going to kick or anyone you're going to kill who's challenging you? He rolls over for everybody.
Yeah.
And now, is that the problem of we don't want this character to be killing anyone?
Well, the whole thing is he's like reformed. He went through the whole A Man Called Horse thing, and or Dances with Wolves thing, and because this, by the way, is not a Western, it's a gangster story.
We texted each other.
Yeah, it's okay. Subplot B is still a Western. Okay, I mean there's no right down to the train, derailment thing. Which I mean you could cite that as Lawrence of Arabia, but it's a Western.
Or
thing.
Solo, very much like Solo.
It's like I said. I will tell
well,
you.
except that in Solo they were unsuccessful, and in this
They were
I was
unsuccessful.
joking
And-
about that just for
and it was
Todd-
much more
Todd's
dynamic.
sake.
But I will say one of the things that occurred to me in the most recent episode was the Mandalorian is really good.
Yeah.
Without taking his helmet off, he is far more
I know.
expressive than this dude
I
is.
feel like he
helmet
takes his
on
helmet
or helmet
off all the time.
Someone needs to give this guy like a neck pivot, okay? He's so stiff and just, it's like, I don't think taking the helmet off benefits at all. He's no more emotive. I feel like the show might benefit if he was more of a background character in the story. But I think this might be too much.
And I have a feeling, and I hope that I'm right, because I'm not disagreeing with anything that either of you are saying. I have a feeling that by the time we get to the end of this, we're going to be back to the Boba Fett that we're expecting, where he's ruthless. And
is he ruthless? I mean, we saw 6 minutes of him. I don't
think we will, Barry. I think we're seeing a changed man. And I don't understand why he's doing what he's doing.
If you're the changed man, why are you taking over for a crime boss?
That's exactly what I want to talk to you about.
Is he taking it over because he's going to civilize this? You know what I'm saying? He's going to get all these people out from the thumb of or tail or whatever the Hutts.
Maybe,
but he's going to bring democracy to.
See, the Hutts aren't the problem. It's the Pikes, but. The Pikes are the ones that he's really ended up going to war with. But so he comes out, he somehow survives the Sarlac pit, which, whatever. You got to get past that, because without that, there's no show. So he survives that somehow. He comes out of that, gets captured by Tuskens, and is their prisoner until he makes his way into becoming one of the tribe. It's probably because they keep showing us the scenes of his father leaving him. It's the first time he ever feels like he belongs somewhere. And I'm not sure that it feels to me like through his mistakes, his tribe got wiped out. Right? He went after the biker gang. He went after the Pikes. He's the one that tried to get them to collect money for them going across their land. And because of that, he goes to collect the money and the entire tribe gets wiped out. So I don't know if he's really, because if you think about it, what's his motivation for wanting to take Jabba's territory?
Well,
there's nothing that would seem like he would want to do that.
Okay,
but he's doing it.
So
yeah.
But you talk about motivate, but also what does that mean? Okay, I mean, he basically came and shot the guy that was sitting at Boba's throne, and then sat on Boba's throne. And I don't necessarily know what he got for that. Okay.
Well, and so because that's the second thing I want to talk about.
Somebody gave him a helmet full of
Well, he's supposed to get money. He's basically supposed to run that city.
Right. But they
know this is what I'm saying. But he's only got 3 people working for him, and it just seems like he's just basically sitting around waiting for someone to shoot him.
But so they explained to us that the city of Mos Espa is divided into 3 different territories. One of them was being handled by Bib Fortuna, who I guess just took it over after Jabba died. The Hutts seemed to let him do that because he was probably still feeding money back up to them. Boba Fett now comes in, takes him out. To your point, he's basically got 2 Gamorreans, and who he literally calls his master assassin, tells people, "Oh, this is Fennec. She's a master assassin."
That was I just going to say.
3 people. But how do you control a territory with no muscle?
This is what. Well, now he's got Joan Jett, but
who's Joan Jett?
It's just
Joan Jett, the biker gang.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like they're more like Italian misfits from the '60s or something.
Oh, there's some of that going on too.
Quadrophenia.
I'll give you my take on the biker gang, and I had this conversation via text with somebody over the weekend. To me, because somebody was texting me, they stick out like a sore thumb, they don't fit, they're not Star Warsy, and my argument was, punk rockers in the 70s in New York or in London, or the mods in the 60s in London, stuck out like a sore thumb. They didn't look anything like what the normals looked like in that culture. And hot rods and motorcycles in the 50s and 60s and 70s looked really bizarre the way that the teenagers did them up. So that to me, that didn't bother me so much. I know a lot of people were complaining about the shiny, colorful bikes and all the mirrors. And you're right. It's right off the cover of Quadrophenia. I mean, it's, and I think they're even calling that gang the mods because they've modified themselves with droid parts.
Right, yeah.
Jesus. It's a little, I get it. It's a little, I think you took a leap for Star Wars fans, but whatever. That doesn't bother me. It's like different. And here's Master Assassin who doesn't kill anybody. Todd, if you're hanging out with me and I introduce you as my Master Assassin, you better kill somebody.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm going to whack somebody just to prove that.
Yeah. But unless
I'm making all these arguments, I'm not saying I like it. I'm enjoying it because I feel confident that it's going somewhere. I'll be disappointed if by the end of 7 episodes it didn't go where I'd like it to go.
If he would come out and say, like he sort of says, I'm going to rule out of respect and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, look, violence is over. Be a little more adamant about that because all you're doing is coming off like a bitch. I mean, he's really...
I'll tell you, I desperately wanted him to keep the Wookiee.
Oh, my God,
I was like, okay, this is an interesting character. Okay. He can do something with this guy.
You know he'll be back.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, it's like, I was like, no, this is...
But like everyone who's tried to kill him, he lets off. I just don't... It's just...
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just not making... For people who like me, who think he's a punk, he's acting like a punk. For people who think he's the greatest thing ever, they're probably even more disappointed than me. You got to give a little middle ground. I get it. If you don't want to be a guy who's all about killing and violence because the people who sort of saved you
but
got
that's
killed,
why I want to know what his
fine.
motivation is.
But
because why on earth...
Let's do something with that.
I mean, unless there's some master plan here that because his tribe got wiped out, he's seeking vengeance on somebody, and this is how he's going to implement that plan. Other than that, why would he want to take over this territory? It makes no sense to me. That's the part I'm struggling with. And how would you expect to maintain control without having any kind of muscle? And honestly, while I didn't have a problem with the teen biker gang, they don't necessarily seem like the muscle you need to maintain control in a lawless city.
And also, it was so like 1980s movie how basically he said, okay, do you want to join me? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to say that to the Wookiee, but like you just said that in the last episode. Are you going to just hire everybody?
Yeah. Right.
But
he's going to end up walking down the streets of Mos Espa riding on a Rancor is where I think some of this is going. Because he went...
Okay, also the Rancor stuff.
We've seen it.
It's just, yeah.
Danny Trejo worked as a Rancor keeper, I think. For me, anyway.
That's fine. Let's have a series about that. This would be more interesting than this.
It was kind of like, I don't know. I guess
fan service. I mean, they foreshadowed, like, here you go, you're going in a Rancor pit. Hey, it's empty. Send him to the next guy. Send him to the Rancor pit. Like, they were going to fill it with sooner or later. But
I will say that those the huts looked better than any huts we've seen since Return of the Jedi, because none of the CG huts up to this point have looked decent. I thought that they looked good,
and those were like bright sunlight huts.
Yeah, I thought they looked good.
Yeah.
Boy, how'd you like to be one of the dudes carrying that
one of the 20 dudes? Yeah.
Well, what's funny is that they've got that,
bending.
And then right next to it they roll up one that it's like hovering with the Rancor on it, like. The huts could have one of those.
Well, that's the
the point actually is making all those guys
exactly.
suffer.
But like the guy has his castle or whatever the hell he's in, and he's in his back to tank, and someone gets in and kills him. I mean, like, what kind of guy are you? What kind of like crime lord are you?
And that's part of the problem. He doesn't have an army.
What are the Gamoran guards doing? What are they guarding?
They don't seem very impressive.
No, they don't.
They're kind of fat and slow. I want to see him like wanting to have an army of 20 Wookiees. Let's see that.
He needs to have something, and that's. And I don't know that it's the teenage Vespa gang that is really going to be what's going to protect him. But it also seemed a little weird that he goes off by himself to fight these fights. So he goes off to whatever that was supposed to be Tashi Station, I think, where he went and confronted the biker gang. Because I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but. The people in the bar were Cammy and Fixer, who were from the deleted scene.
They were?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. But you're confusing timelines. He went there in the flashback.
Yes.
Right? He wouldn't have had anybody with him.
No, but he could have brought Tuskens with him, I'm saying. He's a member of the Tusken tribe at that point. He goes to confront those guys by himself. And I get he was trying to bring tribute back to the tribe. He wanted to bring them technology. He wanted to help them take out the train. Like, I get all that. Yeah, but that was definitely Cammy and Fixer.
I don't think you bring Tuskens into town. This is the. I mean, it's basically the Native American metaphor, but you bring on a lot more hurt when you bring.
But he also seems to be making mistakes. Like, he didn't do any research into who this biker gang was or who they were working for. So he goes, takes them out, Turns out they're working for the Pikes. Now, the Pikes are a real crime syndicate that he doesn't have the muscle to fight against yet.
So the Pikes are in the past and the future,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because we saw them coming off the transport. It's in the future
Right.
or the present.
Yep.
Obviously,
And that's why
biker
the Hutt
gang
twins
works for the Pikes, who are fish.
and the
right?
Hutt twins are leaving Tatooine because they don't want trouble with the Pikes.
They're just fish people.
Yeah, but they're they've never been in live action before, obviously, but they've been in animation for a while, and they're pretty vicious.
And how do you know? Where did you read that? The Cammy and
are the
Fixer?
Pikes actually fish?
The Pikes are an aquatic species. That's why they needed the water.
So like a pike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Like a Mon Calamari. Also, I mean, it's come on, it's
Okay.
Star
Yeah, I know.
Wars.
It's, okay, so
wait,
I guess they
Cammy
totally had not
and
made that
Fixer
connection.
are hanging out at Tashi Station for the past 9 years.
Well, they still live in that area. Yeah, I mean, they're literally, those actors are credited in the credits as Cammy and Fixer.
Oh, that's pretty funny. And it's not the
And
girl
if you
who-
look at a picture of Cammy and Fixer from the deleted scenes, they found people that look just like them. I mean, the
Oh my God,
hairstyle
that's
is exactly
pretty
the
funny.
same.
That's kind of funny. Those two are losers, though.
that's kind of funny. I was also wondering, like, if he can stop a train and he can do all this, take out a biker gang and all this stuff, why doesn't he just go after the Jawas and get his shit back?
I don't think he knows they actually have him, and Jawas are all over the place.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. I just want him to be, like, if you want him to be looked at as this, this guy who could get stuff done, he's really getting walked all over by everybody. It's not good.
Well, he's learning as he goes, obviously. I mean, I feel like he didn't think this through. He clearly wanted to take out Bib Fortuna, did it, and now he's trying to figure it out as he goes.
That's the thing. He killed Bib Fortuna, right?
Yes.
Now he doesn't want to kill anyone else. He could have easily killed the Wookiee. He could have killed the mayor, Hammerhead guy.
He could have killed the guy threw in the Sarlacc pit.
He could have killed everybody.
Even when when he was being ambushed on the streets, he tells Fennec, "I want him alive."
No, but that was to question him. I mean, because she also killed one of them.
Well, he killed one of them
Did he?
with his
He
wrist
must have
rocket. Yeah.
No, she kicked the guy off the roof and then brought the other one.
But before
down.
they even got to the roof, he shot one of them with his wrist rocket.
No, that was about having someone to interrogate.
I just be a violent dude. We could enjoy violent dudes if that's what you got.
But look at what he did in that episode of The Mandalorian. He was brutal.
I was just going to say that's the Boba Fett I was looking for. Okay, that Robert Ramirez directed episode.
Rodriguez.
The fights with the gaffy stick.
He's directing these too.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that, but I'm saying he needs to be walking around with a gaffy stick. Okay, it's yeah.
Yeah, I think I didn't read the article. I saw a headline that Ming-Na was said anybody who's watching the show will have a different opinion of it by the time it ends, which is encouraging. I didn't read the article, but I have a feeling that there's a payoff to all of this.
Yeah, but
I really hope there is.
You got to give people breadcrumbs. Look at Jim Bush. He stopped watching. He's not watching anymore.
Jim, go back and watch it. It's only 4
What
more
else you
episodes.
doing? You watching the football? Come on.
Yeah. So I will say, I mean, I'm going to continue watching it.
Yeah.
I will say I'm very surprised because I expected to be the only one somewhat critical of this, and I expected you guys to be defending it.
Me?
And
you know how I feel about Boba Fett.
It's this is true, but
I mean, I'm wanting to like him. I liked him in The Mandalorian, and I'm sort of rooting for him to be. You could be a badass. You don't have to kill everybody, but
I cannot remember watching an episode of The Mandalorian and thinking, did anything really just happen? And I kind of felt that way.
Well, I'll defend that a little bit. I mean, I feel like they are trying to. They were telling two different stories to try to give his backstory and where he is now, and I feel like they're going to meet. The story in the past has to keep getting to the point where he. I don't know that we'll see him off on that mission with Mandalorian, but we've got to get to why is he doing what he's doing now? Like there has to be something. It's got to be. It's got to be leading there. Otherwise, why keep doing the flashbacks?
You think this is all like he's not looking to be in charge? What he's really looking to do is draw the Pikes out, so he can take them out for what they did to his tribe.
I feel like there's got to be something to it. I don't know if it's exactly that, but there has to be some reason that he wants to. Because why would Boba Fett want this little piece of dirt?
I would like that better than what we've seen. If, like I said, he was just basically he was basically forcing a conflict with, forcing them to come to him, so he could take them out.
Give us some breadcrumbs, though. I mean, because he looks super weak these days.
But it also might make sense, and I hope this isn't the direction they go in, but. We all said for years Boba Fett didn't survive the Sarlac pit. Well, maybe he didn't. Maybe the guy that emerged from the Sarlac pit isn't. He was.
No, that guy was in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I know.
He was he's still capable. The Mandalorian.
So he's still capable of doing it, but maybe that's not who he is anymore. I don't know. I hope that there's more to this. That's all. That's my point, though, because. Why would a guy who was a success? I mean, although if you think about it, he did work for Jabba the Hutt, so he is very familiar with Tatooine. So maybe he does feel like, and he was part of this Tusken tribe, and maybe he feels a connection to Tatooine and wants to have a piece of it. So maybe that is his motivation.
Well, no, he is having people look after the Pikes coming in on the cruiser. I just feel like I think people.
Well, but he only did that because the Hutts told him that they were leaving. And Boba Fett is trying to figure out, well, what's so bad that's coming that they're getting the hell out of Dodge?
That's the thing. Then you don't know that? I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Hopefully he's smarter than that. If he's just doing this and not really defending himself, that's not good. Hopefully he's trying to be weak and draw them in and take them out. But I do feel from a story, from an episodic story, you got to give people some breadcrumbs. Because there are people who, some dude who's got a Boba Fett tattoo on his back who's like, oh, he never died. He, in Tales of the Bounty Hunter, he, who lives and dies by that. And he's like,
this guy's probably his Boba Fett.
He's not seeing his Boba Fett. I'm seeing my Boba Fett.
Right. And that's not the Boba Fett we want to see.
No,
we don't want to see your Boba Fett.
I will say this, though. That fight scene with the Wookiee, that was a really good fight scene, I thought. I thought it was great.
He got his ass kicked.
He did get his ass kicked, but it was a really well done battle, fight scene. They all got their asses kicked. The Gamorreans got their asses kicked, too.
It's funny, when we loved Arrow and they did the dual timeline, for some reason, every time we see him in the back to tank, it just annoys me. I know you're using that as a plot device, but Arrow was so much more subtle about it.
So basic. It's just like, yeah.
Do you ever remember? I think they just organically went to the past. They never.
No, they'd zero in on an object and then there'd be something similar.
But they never was like, oh, here's Oliver nodding off, and then it's it's too much.
It's I agree, and likewise, I mean they're basically, I guess if it's a gangster setting, they're doing this convention from, The Godfather Part 2, and there was no,
there's no back to tank in that.
There's no transition. Yeah,
yeah, they didn't transition. They just made it clear, and though I think they probably worry that they probably would lose people. I don't know.
He doesn't look different enough that.
That's what I'm saying.
They need some type of transition because it's not like
they got young Robert De Niro to play him. Then
Arrow did it very well, and Oliver looked the same.
The one thing that did I was slightly. I won't say discouraged by, but
you
that
can
I
say
didn't
discouraged.
really understand.
It's okay. George Lucas isn't going to be mad at you.
No, it's not that. I said I don't want to oversell disappointment. I'm not that disappointed, but when he came back and found his whole tribe massacred, he didn't seem furious about it. I mean, I know he was, he put them on the funeral pyres and he burned them and did whatever, but I wanted to see more rage at
that was the depth
I don't
of his
know that
acting
this guy's
ability.
got it in him. I think that was his maximum level of emoting.
But if that's a story you want to tell, don't hire Tamora Morrison if you know he doesn't have the acting
They
chops.
hired this guy initially 2 decades ago to wear a helmet most of the time. Okay? In both of his roles. So,
yeah. I hope I'm right, and I hope that by the end of this, we get why he wasn't being more aggressive. I just hope we get that.
so let's each go around and say what we want to see. I want to see some master plan that is not clear right now. I want to see some motivation for him doing what he's doing, other than just kind of fumbling his way through it, because that's what it appears like.
I have to say that. I mean, if it goes the same way where he just keeps rolling over on everybody, and, he's going to hire that Wookiee. They just want to give some breathing room. I mean,
but why did it take him tracking down Mandalorian, getting his armor back to decide at that point, now I want to go be a crime boss? Like, there needs to be more to this, and I'm hoping that gets revealed. Like, he could have done this without waiting to get his armor back. He could have taken out Bib Fortuna and ran that town, if that's what he wanted to do, without getting his armor back.
Yes and no. He's not Boba Fett without the armor.
Yeah, but you can fabricate new armor. There are plenty of people that can make a helmet.
Well, we wouldn't have
chest
seen
plate.
it because there wouldn't have been on screen.
I think psychologically, he's not Boba Fett without the armor. I think he's two different people, and I think
now he's three different people, because now he's Boba Fett with the armor, but not the badass.
He better keep his helmet on. That's all I'm saying. You don't walk into the freaking casino and take your helmet off.
I read an excerpt from an article with him. He's actually saying that he talks too much, and that in production, he kept trying to push lines over to Ming-Na, and it was like, well, shouldn't she say that? And they're like, well, we're going to film it just this way. Maybe we'll change it later. And he said, but she should probably say that line. I should just kind of stand here. And he really does apparently believe that he's talking too much. And I guess Jon Favreau was not in the set, and they kept passing it off and saying, well, we'll ask Jon about it later, but let's just shoot it the way it is. And he thinks that Boba Fett should be more mysterious.
I agree with
that. Well, in the casino, I can understand taking your helmet off. Did you see that yellow Twi'lek? He wants to get with her.
Jennifer Beals always looking good.
Yeah, but the yellow Twi'lek, I looked her up. She's like some supermodel that they've got playing.
Okay, Jennifer Beals, secretly a badass in this. Okay, she's not like there's something more to that character. I will say,
the woman that runs the bar is always a badass. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying she is like the one ratting him out, or the one actually trying to kill him, or there's something going on here.
I hope so. You don't get her in this to be what's a 2-line every other episode.
That's what I'm saying. She's got a larger role, and I hope for her sake, it's not the love interest.
Right, but now you've got the Hutts who wanted to kill him and are now fleeing because of the Pikes. You've got somebody
very weird. You literally send your Wookiee in to kill him, you don't, and then you come and apologize
because they found out that the Pikes were coming in large numbers. But we also don't know
schools, it's called.
Yeah, exactly. It's schools. We also don't know who
hired
hired
the
the initial
schools of Pike coming for me.
Who hired the initial assassins? Was it the mayor? Was it the mayor working for the Pikes? Was it the Pike?
Mayor McCheese?
Yeah, you heard about
Mayor
that?
McHammer.
Yeah. I don't know. It needs to be a little tighter. I don't know.
Mayor McCheese.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds an awful lot like McCheese when you say it fast.
Yeah. I have every faith in Jon Favreau, but
me too. Favreau's writing this. He's not directing it, but he wrote every episode.
I know, but you're losing people. That's all I'm saying, John. You're losing people.
I don't know if it's necessarily true. It's actually getting very good ratings. You're losing Daryl and Jim. Except Daryl and Jim
and me, but I'll watch it anyway.
And maybe Dave. I won't say I'm disappointed, but I'm not excited by what I've seen.
I'm in the same boat. I like watching it. I look forward to watching it. I'm just, the third episode was the one if I saw some badassness or something, I'm gonna be like, okay, now we're in the right spot. But
so this one ends with them basically saying that they're gearing up for war. So now I want to see a war. We have to see it. I mean,
okay, you got 5 kids with Vespas, 2 fat, beaten up Gamorreans, and Ming-Na, who's like just got to kill somebody.
I'm assuming that the Tuskens have to come to his aid. The other tribes, they have to. If they don't, I don't know who else he's going to get to help fight his war. Having a Rancor is not enough.
No, they're slow moving.
I expected
Luke Skywalker's coming in.
I expected the black wearing Tusken with like the kind of badass Tusken that trained him was going to have more of a role.
We didn't see that Tusken.
I also thought that was a female. I was convinced that was a female.
We didn't see her at the camp dead. They showed us the leader. They showed us a few others, but they didn't show that one. So I'm wondering if that one got away.
Are we going to see the Tuskens without their wraps on their heads?
Not yet.
I mean, I know we didn't. Are we gonna?
Oh, are we gonna?
It just doesn't make sense what they're wearing. I mean, like, it's freaking hot in the desert, and you guys are putting all kinds of clothes, and you got these bandage heads. Come on.
And metal pieces on your eyes?
Okay. No, this is I guess the metal pieces on the eyes I don't get, but
they put a lot of heavy stuff on him.
Although look at Lawrence of Arabia. It's not like they walked around in
white clothes.
Look at light flowing robes. Anyway, whatever. I'll
maybe
discount
it's cheesecloth and it's very light and
it's cheesecloth.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm with you. I'm not saying I feel like it's so much better than you guys do. I'm enjoying it, but I guess I'm just more hopeful that they're taking us on a journey and we'll feel really fulfilled at the end of it. Because if not, it's just going to be a bunch of people scratching heads, I think. What happened to Boba Fett?
Yeah, we kind of assumed that Mandalorian was setting the template for all this stuff. And again, this is just, it's not. And I'll circle back to that point that I made. It is incredible. Now, regardless of who is in the suit, and I have read that they put a huge amount of effort into, apparently it's 3 people that are in the Mandalorian suit.
Yes.
Not at a given time. But they have put a huge amount of effort into mimicking each other's actions and movements and whatever. But that character is incredibly emotive for wearing a helmet. Okay? You know exactly by body position, by head tilt, by whatever. You know exactly what they're thinking. You see hesitation. You see all these kind of things. This guy walks around like an action figure. And it's it would stop motion, articulation. It's just, yeah. I'm not sure this will carry the show.
Favreau writing, and you got Robert Rodriguez directing a bunch of them, or at least 2 or more. Hopefully there's something that we just haven't.
All the pieces are there for them to do something great.
This is not like it's not like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, I don't know who made this.
Oh, God, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I don't know who these people are. You got the A team on this
A-list.
thing.
Yes, this is all A-list talent working on this. At least from a creative standpoint. I'm not saying Tamara Morrison is an A-list actor. I'm saying you've got an A-list writer and an A-list director and a competent cast. So,
okay, we will see. Let us know what you think. We'll let us know. We'll see. Okay,
This just in, Moon Knight, March 30th, confirmed. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
You did a good job of pretending to be part of that conversation while you watched the trailer, Todd.
I did not watch the trailer yet, but it's confirmed multiple places.
Okay, good.
So
there you go.
Something to look forward to, I guess.
So yeah, that's it. So what's this week is when? So this thing basically ends. We're gonna have almost 2 months with no new shows. That's interesting. No new Disney Plus shows.
We'll probably get at least one episode, if not more, of the making of the Book of Boba Fett somewhere in between.
We haven't gotten the making of Hawkeye. It comes out soon, but you figured they'd have a series going. Well, I guess with COVID and stuff, who the hell knows? Anyway, let's go. What's in the box? We haven't done that in a while.
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Barry, what's in the box?
I'm doing 3 things. Sorry, it's been a while.
You're not saving them?
I'm doing them. No, I'm doing them quick. First one, the companion book to the movie I picked last week. Get back. It's actually a really great book. It's got a ton of great photos, and there's a lot of good information in here, companion to the 8-hour movie. I have the exclusive...
Barry, is that a single volume?
It is a single volume book, yes.
Are there going to be 5 sequels to it, and you'll still refer to it as a book?
No, you're lucky I'm not calling this book a movie, okay?
Okay.
I have the special edition that's got some kind of lithographs in there. I haven't looked at them yet. Okay, the other 2 things I'm going to do quick. It's been a long time since I bought anything from Eagle Moss. I did get a delivery. I got the Aliens APC.
Oh, nice.
I will say it looks very nice, and I'm happy with it, although I'm a little disappointed how static it is, and I know that...
It's almost a brick.
It is a brick. This rail gun doesn't move. This front gun doesn't move. The wheels don't move. I get all that.
The wheels don't move.
No.
Does it open?
Nothing opens. That's what I'm saying. It's a bit of a...
It's not a vehicle. It's a model.
It's a bit of a brick, but it looks good. And it's actually, I don't know if you can see, it's got like a mild camo kind of pattern.
That's kind of interesting.
So very happy with it. The other one I got the Space 1999 Eagle. The standard Eagle. Also happy with this for what it is. I feel like the color is not right, and maybe this is exactly the right color, but to my eye it should be whiter, and it's more gray. I don't know if that's coming across.
It's white here.
Yeah, it's more gray.
It's a white gray. It's in between. Barry, I want to talk to you about that. So I want to know how long that is. I'd like to dive into those, but I've got a Project Enterprise one, and it just seems like if they're really far off in size,
10 inches long.
Weird. It is 10 inches.
Yeah, I just measured it. It's 10 inches. It's great for what it is, and if you're smart about when you buy your Eagle Moss stuff, there's always some kind of sale going on. So I did not even pay full price for either of these. I got what I think are good deals on them. So, and they display great for what they are. They're great. It feels to me
it is such a great design. That ship is such a great design.
It's an awesome design. This design is so much better than the show.
It is so real world looking, that it's yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, great for what it is. To my eye, it just feels a little dark. But other than that, I'm very happy with it. So those are what's in the boxes. Todd, what do you got?
Okay, I found this by accident. I was looking for something else online, and that's how these things happen. This is a copy of a script for one of my favorite Star Trek episodes, which is Yesteryear, which is an animated series episode. And this is actually a photocopy of the original script. It was given to this person by D.C. Fontana in the early 80s, and this guy made copies of it and sold them. And it was very, very cheap. But it's kind of neat reading the script for an animated series and going through, which I haven't really done before. And again, it's one of my favorite. It's my favorite episode of the animated series. It's one of my favorite Star Trek episodes. And there's some corrections in here, and a few things, and like I said, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Cool.
And like I said, it was very inexpensive. It was $10. And just kind of a cool little artifact. So
nice.
So that's what I got. Dave, what do you got?
Okay. I have, I got this on the RPF. I ordered it a while ago. I have the Peacock's Eye from Indiana Jones and Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. This is made of cubic zirconia. There are a bunch of places that you can get plastic ones and you can get some glass ones, but this guy had them made in cubic zirconia, and he did a really nice job.
I can see the sparkle from here. It's pretty.
Yeah, you can. Really. It does. It's really nice. And it was.
Can you slide that across the floor so I can see how authentic it is?
Yes, but
next time we're at your house, we're going to get on opposite sides of the room and slide that and the antidote past each other.
We'll
yes, exactly.
In the basement. We'll get some ice too, but it was super reasonable. I would thought cubic zirconias are more than this, but this guy had them made, and nice job. This is like his third or fourth run of it. He did an extra run, so I was able to get in on it, but. They did a nice job. Yeah. So that is what's in the box. So we were going to do a quick show recommendation of something that you're watching that maybe others haven't watched. Right? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's a good setup.
Barry, why don't you go? Because yours is.
Okay. Yeah. So nobody recommended this to me, but I kind of saw it come up on my Netflix interface. It's a show called Silent Sea, and it came out just before Christmas. I think December 24th it hit. So I hadn't heard about it. So I watched the first episode, and it's a Korean-made production. It's a total science fiction thing. The premise is basically, without giving anything away, that water has become a precious resource, and there's kind of been a class system built around water, and there's a mission to try to go off world to try to do something. I won't say what to try to help with this problem, but what blew me away from it, and was what initially made me text you guys about it, was it just looks so expensive. Like, they spent a freaking fortune on this thing. They built gigantic sets. It looks real. It doesn't look like it's CG sets. It's got elements of a lot of famous sci-fi in it. So there's aliens in it. There's Terminator in it. There's, you name it. There's lots of things that you can look at and go, oh, that reminds me of this, or oh, that reminds me of that. But I thought it was really well done, so much so that I ended up blowing through the whole thing in a couple days. I think it's 8 episodes, so 10 episodes, something like that. I liked it. I mean, there were elements of the ending that I scratched my head about a little bit, but I won't say what, because I know you guys haven't gotten there yet. But I like it. And
one episode. It's a little
definitely
slow,
recommend
but I think
it.
you said it started off a little slow.
It does start off slow. The first episode really sets up the premise, and then it certainly doesn't ever get to a breakneck pace. It is a more slowly paced thing. Kind of like Alien, when you think about it. Like, the pacing in Alien is actually kind of like that. Now, you've watched a bunch of it, Todd, right?
I've seen 6 episodes. I think it's very well done. I think the production values are very high. It's one of these things where you like look at the moon base, and it looks real. It looks like something that they would build for that purpose. I'm very impressed with it so far. It's not a crazy fast pace, but they're telling a really good story. And I'm watching it 2 episodes at a time. And so I've sat down and watched, 2 episodes 3 times in a row. I think it's really good. I really like it. And again, nothing that was on my radar at all.
Me either. So, and even once you get outside of like the main control rooms, some of the other rooms like the laboratories and things, you would think, all right, well they'll cut some money there, but they've built just enormous,
I haven't gotten to any
very
yet,
detailed
so I'm
sets.
Interested to see all that.
Yeah, I mean, there's scenes where they're looking for something.
And again,
in this
there's
space,
elements
and
from
they have
stories
to go
that
to a
you've
bunch
seen
of
before,
laboratories.
but they go
and
different ways with
everything.
different
I'm
things.
just like, wow, every new environment they go to, I'm like, they just spent all the money on this thing. And not that it's just about the money that they spent on it. It looks great, but the story was good too. So that's definitely worth checking out, and not something I'd heard anything about from anybody. So,
all right, once we all watch it, we'll come back to that. And Todd, you had something too?
Yes. This is not a shock at all, but I'm going to recommend The Expanse, which wrapped up this past week.
Oh,
if you've never watched the show, I envy you, because you got 54 episodes of awesomeness waiting for you. I mentioned a couple weeks ago the novel series just wrapped up as well. So that was 9 books, 4 novellas, a great story that ended up being very different than this. Little like hint for George R.R. Martin. Even when your work is being adapted, you can continue fucking writing and tell your story. But in any case, both ended very, very well. I'm not going to spoil it.
Thank you.
I thought it was terrific. And take the time, savor it, watch it. This was a short season, but thank you, Jeff Bezos and Amazon. This could have gone down after 3 seasons, and it would have been a footnote. And instead, I think it's one of the best made science fiction series ever.
Well, and like we were just talking about, the production values on the other show, like there were a couple sequences towards the end of this season that, like, if they hadn't have fully committed to, might not have looked as good as they did, but they went all out. So there's some really great stuff.
There's no question they spent what they would have spent for the 10 episodes, on the 6 that we got. So it's It was great.
And
And,
there's
like
a
I said, it
bunch
went out
of-
great. They were true to the characters. You know, and this is one last point to make with this is a show that has extraordinarily strong female characters and always did, but it's done in a way that is genuine and authentic, and the characters are exactly who they are between, Christian and drummer, Naomi, Bobby, they were terrific characters, and Carissa Mao, and they were great,
And Peaches too.
Carissa Mao, yes,
Not the other Mao. There's the other Mao.
They
Yeah, the other
didn't
Mao.
have to Julie Mao, but they didn't have to finish every sentence, and they didn't have to be smarter than everybody else, and they didn't. It just felt like the way it was supposed to feel, and the way it actually feels like in the real world, and again, I think it's great, and if there's a way, maybe someday we'll see a follow up, or
It sounds like they could
something
definitely
more.
do a limited series, not unlike the Beatles thing.
They did leave.
They
not-
built a whole universe that's still out there to play
Yeah,
with.
and there's
maybe
a
that
couple
was a spoiler.
And I'm not spoiling anything. There's a couple of loose ends that they don't tie up. So there's
Yes.
definitely room
Yep.
for more.
Without question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of just awesome sci-fi Easter eggs in the final episode that
They've always been really fun about the name dropping that they've done throughout the series. Like when they're on Tycho Station, you got to listen to the names of the ships being called, and they're scientists and they're writers, and there's a ship called the Jefferson Maze. Jefferson Maze was the reader who read all the Amazon audiobooks, or all the Expanse audiobooks. It's just, but in this one they went all out, and there was let's just say there's a status board that is very deep in terms of the science fiction characters listed on
it's
it.
a who's who of sci-fi characters.
It really is. It really is. When you get William Riker, Duncan Idaho, and Kara Thrace all thrown in together, it's pretty cool. So anyway,
good stuff.
like I said, it has my highest recommendation. I will miss it. I look forward to being of feeble mind so I can watch it again for the first time. So
There you go. So what am I recommend? I think I mentioned this once before, and I just finished watching it. There's a show on Disney Plus under Nat Geo called Welcome to Earth. It's a documentary thing with Will Smith, but I gotta say, they've all had these. We've seen these Earth shows. This thing spans like the planet, and the photography. Darren Aronofsky, whose films I'm not a fan of, but he is a good technical filmmaker. I don't really love his movies, but the photography is amazing. I mean, they literally go from the bottom of the ocean to inside volcanoes and all over the place. And Will Smith goes on all these journeys because he wanted to sort of challenge himself to be an explorer. But they're everywhere. It's like 6 episodes, super informative and just really cool stuff to look at. I don't know if any of you guys have seen any of it, but
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the commercials for it. It looked
yeah,
good.
it's really cool, and you really get it's not all these extras. I mean, Will Smith's a normal dude. I mean, he's an action star, but he makes fun of it. He's like, look, I'm scared. I don't want to do this. This is what my stuntman would be doing. But he does all this crazy stuff. And I really thought it was interesting. There's all this, and I learned stuff too. It's like, holy shit, this stuff I've never even realized what goes on. So totally recommend that.
Cool.
So check that out.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. Curb Your Enthusiasm, too. I watched season 11, and then I just went back and watched season 10. He does not disappoint. He is so...
Season 11 was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, it's just the spite store and everything in season 10.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I'm going to go back from the beginning. I was going to work my way backwards, because I definitely have not watched probably like 6 to 8. I'm going to go back to 1 and start over, but he is so wrong. It's great.
I got to say, I think I probably only watched like the first 4 seasons.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
And
I've watched all
but
of it.
have you?
Yeah.
There's so many people in it. I mean, oh my God! Especially these later episodes, they get everyone seems like they want to be in bit parts. Like, what's her face? Rebecca Romaine plays a secretary in
Yeah.
and all kinds of like you're in like two scenes, but people seem to love it. So anyway,
It's funny.
check that out.
I love that show.
One last thought, which isn't somebody dying. I don't. By the time you hear this, Last Exit to Nowhere, which we talked about, I got a bunch of shirts from. They have a sale for all of January, like 15 or 20% off. So if you want anything from them, there's a discount for the month of January. So check that out.
Oh, it's a good time to do it. Yeah, so you'll have a little bit of time from when you hear this too.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. That should do it. Next week, I don't know. We don't know, do we? No, it doesn't matter. There'll
We'll
be
figure something out.
There'll be something.
There'll be something.
We'll dissect and break down the Moon Knight trailer for 40 minutes.
Yes.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah.
That's what Todd was really doing when he claims his internet was down.
When I claimed the internet went down, I was actually...
Well, the internet went down. It wasn't just Todd's internet. It was the whole internet
Maybe
went down.
the internet went down because everyone watched the Moon Knight trailer.
That could very well be it. I still can't find it, though.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
It may not be out there yet. You got to wait till the sports ball game is done. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl, you guys? What do you think?
Which one's that?
Somebody with a helmet.
Is that with the stick?
Could
Or that's with
begin
the...
to tell you who could be in it?
I'm glad I don't care. Sorry,
okay.
sorry, Dad. I know you always wanted me to be a sports fan, Dad, and I disappointed you there. But I think I made up for it in other ways.
There you go. Anyway, well, enjoy your sports, people, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.